Bullying is an issue that can affect any child, but from talking to parents, we know that children with special educational needs and disabilities can be more vulnerable.
I think making sure you've got time in your day at some point to talk with your children about how their day has gone, or however you communicate with your children about how their day's been. If you can build that.
We know from speaking to parents that sometimes it can be tricky to spot the signs of bullying. So in this episode, we look at tips and advice on spotting the signs and behaviours that may indicate your child is being bullied. To gather these tips, we spoke to Helen and Samantha.
Hi, my name is Helen Namby. I'm currently the deputy head in a small school where I'm also the SENCO.
Helen is a deputy head and SENCO in a mainstream primary school, and over the last 20 years has worked in large and smaller school settings.
And I worked with some Year 7 children in Canada.
My name is Samantha Griffiths. I'm the head teacher at the same school that Helen works in. Helen's my deputy.
Samantha has worked in large and small primary schools over 20 years, as well as community schools. She's also acted as a consultant for the borough
and worked with schools that have demanded intensive support.
If you can build that in every day, then that kind of helps when it comes to that there is a problem. I think you know your children better than anybody, so you'll know if things aren't quite right and that you might need to be having a conversation. And I think it's about asking the right questions at the right time and then asking again and asking a bit more. It is difficult, I think, if you suspect something's going on and your children don't want to tell you straight away.
So if someone has a child who communicates in alternative ways to verbal discussion, how can parents go about spotting the signs of bullying?
Well, I think it's if you are suspicious that something's going on or your child has suddenly had a change in their behaviour or however they're manifesting that level of stress and you've noticed it, is to, there are other ways you can do that through whatever their best form of communication is really, but you can watch how they play, and it might be that if you're sat down and seeing those little scenarios playing out with their their toys, however they play with their toys, it might be that they can draw a picture for you and you can take your clues from the picture, that there are other ways that you can spot that and try and look out for those sorts of scenarios that might play out in their play. And if you notice that difference, then that's the time to act.
And if parents are concerned but can't seem to establish if the child has experienced bullying or not, what can they do next?
If you're not getting anywhere with your normal forms of communication with your child, is perhaps go to school straight away and say, I've noticed something's not right. Between us, can we try to get to the bottom of it, see what you notice, see what we notice.
And it's equally, from the teacher's perspective, it's looking for behaviour that's not really in step with that child, isn't it? Because every now and then a child will just burst into tears for no apparent reason, or fly off the handle, or suddenly very rude to a member of staff, and you think, where on earth has that come from? So it's really noticing the signs. It might necessarily, at first you might not think, that is something to do with bullying, but it's usually attached to something, so it's just worth unpicking that a bit, isn't it? And sometimes the child that's being bullied sadly starts to bully or hurt or upset another child as well, when it's not really been typical of them in the past.
Angie Fenn and Sue North, staff who work for Contact a Family and have been involved in our anti-bullying work, also joined the conversation.
Well, I think that's the other thing, isn't it, that often for some of the children we're talking about, the way that they demonstrate their anxiety is by increased challenging behaviour or outbursts or whatever, because they can't communicate in those usual,
the traditional ways that
communication ways. So it's any change in those kind of behaviours.
Yeah, and that can be an external outburst, or it could actually be kind of
that they just draw themselves back in.
Yeah. So a particular, girls particularly, I find, do that more so. But but in terms of kind of those kind of signs.
Thanks for listening today. We hope you enjoyed this Contact a Family podcast. For more information on supporting your child through bullying issues, visit our website at www.cafamily.org.uk/bullying. And if you'd like to speak to one of our parent advisors, you can call our free helpline on 0808 808 3555. And that's open from Mondays to Fridays from 9:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. Contact a Family is a member of the SEND anti-bullying programme led by the Anti-Bullying Alliance. And for more information, you can visit www.anti-bullyingalliance.org.uk.